Women, what is the most wholesome thing someone has ever done for you? My mom made me eat 900 calories a day so that she could show me off to her crusty old male friends. My fingers paid a visit to the back of my throat whenever I ate more than that, or looked bloated. I couldn't even look at a Dorito without my mom telling me I gained 2 pounds and making me skip dinner. And whenever I was allowed to eat, she made me eat in a kid's bowl. Eventually, I became nauseated just thinking about food and my mom would smirk, saying that was a good thing because now I could stay skinny and pretty. I resented my mom for the way she treated me, because the way she treated my brother was completely different. She let him make hourly trips to the kitchen without saying a word, while I couldn't even look at the kitchen without being screamed at. He's never had our mom count his calories or diet since he was 7. I was all skin and bones, while my brother was so huge. The only reason he didn't break multiple ribs after a fall was because of his fat. My mom wasn't even concerned about his weight. She just said he was lucky he was fat. I guess my brother started to see the difference in our treatments, but I believe he really had a moment of clarity 3 months ago. We were watching a movie together in the middle of the night, and I had to hear him gobble down a 4-for-4 meal the entire time. I wanted some, but at the same time I had to breathe through my mouth because smelling all that grease would have made me throw up. I think my brother caught me looking at him for the 100th time, so he offered me some food, and I just broke down crying. I would have unalived to indulge in some fries and nuggets, but my mom would have unalived me when she found out. The next day, my brother talked to me about going to the gym, saying that he was worried about our health. I could tell he was trying not to trigger my disorder by not mentioning my body, and I really appreciated that because I heard it enough from my mom. He told me it would be good for me to build muscle and he could lose weight. I knew this was a step towards getting a healthy body because I knew I was too skinny. I hated seeing my ribs poking out through all my shirts and shopping in the kids section for pants because everything in the women's section fit too big. But exercising was hard. I could barely lift the barbell with no weights, and my brother said his stomach kept getting in the way of his sit-ups and squats. On the drive back home, my brother said that we just had to be consistent, eat in a calorie surplus and calorie deficit diet and have a workout plan for every day. That meant I would have to eat more than 900. When my mom caught my brother making me 3 meals a day, he defended me against her. He yelled that my pant size was only going down and that she was encouraging unhealthy eating habits for me. She told him that her friends were coming over in 2 days, and she needed me to look skinny, instead of the fat hippo that I was becoming. My brother nearly slapped her across the face. He said that from now on her friends weren't allowed at our house, and if they showed up he was going to call the cops. He put his foot down on her showing me off to her friends, saying that would never happen ever again. I was scared for 2 whole days because I couldn't stop wondering if my mom believed my brother. Luckily, the men didn't show up, and they never did again. In weeks that followed, I was able to lift the barbell and I was excited, but I couldn't do much of anything else that I tried. I wanted to keep going, but I didn't have the energy to go anymore and my lack of progress made me feel worthless. When I told my brother, he said he would look for something that could help us out, because he thought this would all be worth it in the end. He found pre-workouts and was close to buying it, but once he did more research he found out that they cause heart palpitations, anxiety and diarrhea. So he decided against getting us that and instead bought Bub's MCT oil, because it's supposed to give us a bunch of energy after drinking it with any beverage, and it wouldn't spike our blood sugar or insulin levels. He told me that the MCT oil makes ketones to give the brain energy without the carbs, and the Bub's MCT oil was easily digestible and had the fastest absorbing properties of any other MCT oil he had seen. The next day, we both drank it with coffee before going to the gym. Working out actually felt so easy. My endurance improved, so I pushed myself harder during my workouts, and even tried different equipment at the gym that I wouldn't even look at before. Weeks later, exercising felt less like a chore and more like an enjoyable activity. The Bub's MCT oil gave me and my brother a quick and steady source of energy that allowed us to power through our workouts and our daily life without feeling drained. I could go out more and enjoy hanging out with my friends. My friends were shocked at how I acted because they were used to seeing me bedridden and refusing to go out because I was always tired. Now they said I was more vibrant and lively, but they liked that because I could no longer miss out on plans. I made sure to drink the Bub's MCT oil whenever I went out with them, so that we could continue to make core memories. And after drinking, I could finally do well in my school work. I was even participating more in class because I actually knew the answers to the questions. It was a huge difference from my foggy and tired state where I would even forget how to add. Months later, my muscles became toned and I had put on healthy weight, from eating a balanced diet and a consistent exercise routine. My relationship with food became much more positive that it was natural for me to eat 1,800 calories per day without feeling guilty. So for the first time in years, I had some meat on my bones, and I was so happy to see that I had gone up a pant size, and could finally shop in the women's section. This was an incredible milestone for me since it showed how far I had come, and it boosted my self-esteem because I finally felt comfortable in my body. I could look at myself in the mirror without feeling the need to turn to the side and do a body check, and when I did I just smiled at the weight I had gained. Another big change in my body was my hair. Because of my disorder, it was thin and brittle. It would fall out in distressing amounts whenever I brushed it, and I got used to keeping it tied back in a simple ponytail to hide its dull state. But now, my hair was thicker and healthier, with a natural shine that I had never seen before. With my hair in its new rejuvenated state, I started experimenting with styles that I had only ever admired in my friends. I wore different types of braids from Dutch to a simple twisted rope braid, and I started to get used to having it out to show off its natural beauty. My friends even complimented my looks whenever they saw me. As for my brother, The Bub's MCT oil curbed his appetite and reduced his cravings for sugary snacks, which helped him lose weight steadily and healthily. All his hard work paid off because he looked more toned, fit and full of energy. He told me that he also felt mentally better because it felt like he was more in control of his eating habits. And it was true because he was naturally eating healthier foods. He stopped eating 4 for 4 meals, and if he ever indulged in something unhealthy it was a reasonable portion. So instead of eating 8 slices of pizza in one sitting, he'd only eat 2. I don't think I'll ever get used to seeing him turn down a 3rd slice of pizza though. But it also meant that the Bub's MCT oil had a positive impact on his digestion, so I was proud of him. I'll forever be grateful to my brother for helping me look and feel normal, and for supporting me throughout this journey.